Greetings, fellow Slayers. Well, our look at Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 3 now continues on with the episode Amends. A man named Daniel runs down a Dublin street in 1838, afraid of something. He finally stops to rest at the entrance to an alley when Angelus appears in front of him. Apparently, Daniel had gambling problems and was in debt to Angelus, so he decided to take his payment his way. Before he kills Daniel, he tells him to be of good cheer because, after all, it's Christmas. When Angel wakes up from his nightmare, unable to fall back asleep, he walks through to Sunnydale and runs into Buffy, who is out shopping for gifts. They exchange a few words before Angel sees Daniel again, staring at him. Ooh. The next day, as Sunnydale High starts winding down for Christmas vacation, Buffy tells her friends about her strange encounter with Angel. They start filling each other in on holiday plans when Oz shows up, ready to talk to Willow. He tells her that he knows that she and Xander have a history, and he doesn't know if things between the two will ever be over. However, he also tells her he misses her terribly, so he's willing to give the relationship another shot. Cordelia, on the other hand, is still cold and hostile toward the Scooby Gang, and Smokey tells them that she'll begin Aspen with real snow. Buffy and her mom go shopping for a Christmas tree and decide to invite Faith to Christmas Eve dinner. When Buffy suggests inviting Giles, Joyce becomes uncomfortable and vetoes the idea, claiming she doesn't want to spend Christmas with a bunch of girls. While at the lot, Buffy spots a bunch of trees that died, seen without reason, and the salesman offers her a hell of a deal. Buffy later visits Faith's room at Sunnydale Motor Inn to invite her to dinner, denying that it was Joyce's idea. Faith claims that she has plans, but Buffy leaves the offer open. Aww. Angel's nightmares continue to haunt him, and he finally resorts to going to Giles for help. Wary of Angel due to Jenny's death and the torture he suffered at his hands, he keeps a loaded crossbow in hand while Angel questions why he's back on Earth. The conversation is cut short when Angel sees Jenny and runs off. Giles turns around, trying to get a glimpse of what scared Angel off, but he doesn't see anything. In another one of Angel's dreams, he texts to meet Margaret at a Christmas party. After he finishes her off, he looks up to see Buffy. They both wake up, realizing that they just shared a dream. Buffy goes to Giles at the library and they plan to research the force that has overtaken Angel. Xander offers help, explaining that it's partly to make up for being such a bad friend to Buffy, partly to cure winter break boredom. Bullet trains in and the gang researches for hours with no results. Will tells Buffy that she's trying to think of a way to let Oz know she's truly sorry, so Buffy suggests that she needs to let Oz know he who comes before Xander. Angel's unable to sleep and encounters a vision of Jenny at the Crawford Street mansion. He tries to apologize, but she doesn't want to hear it. She just wants to make him suffer. He's visited by many of his victims, including Daniel and Margaret. Finally, Angel begs her to stop. Jenny offers him comfort and tells him to rest. At the library, Buffy also falls asleep, joining Angel in his dream. This time, the two make love on Buffy's bed. Looking over her shoulder, Buffy notices a creature with eyes sewn shut just before Angel vamps and bites her. They both wake up. Jenny tells Angel he needs to kill Buffy. Giles has found out that the force taking over Angel is called the First Evil. It's very powerful and impossible to kill. However, the harbingers of death are creatures which Buffy can kill, hopefully putting an end to Angel's mental torment. Buffy and Xander visit Willie's bar, where Willie tells them that all he knows is that the First may be underground. Oz arrives at Willow's house with videos from Big Lou's, and she finds a romantic night planned. Including a provocative outfit, candles, music, and chilling champagne. In a roundabout way, she implies that she wants to make love with Oz. He tells her he's not ready to take the relationship that far, and that she doesn't need to prove herself to him. She's fine with his decision, and they kiss. Aww. At home, Buffy and her mom are trimming the tree, and they both get surprised when Faith shows up. Buffy goes upstairs to her room to find that Angel is there waiting for her. He fights the urge to kill Buffy. Jenny, unseen and unheard by Buffy, continues to goad him into killing her, so Angel jumps out the window. Buffy's worried, and she leaves Faith in charge of watching her mom while she goes to Giles for help. At the mansion, Jenny continues her quest. She tries to convince Angel that he must kill Buffy, and, as long as he is alive, she will be at risk. With that, Angel resolves to commit suicide under the sunlight instead, which Jenny says wasn't the plan, but it would nevertheless be acceptable. After some more research, Buffy discovers that nothing will grow above or below the priest's location, and she's reminded of the dead trees at the Christmas tree lot. Before she departs, Giles warns her that she may have to kill Angel again should he truly become dangerous. She goes to the lot, and in the middle of a circle of dead trees, she digs a hole right above the priest's hideout. She jumps down, tearing the place and the priest apart, and encounters the first in Ginny's form. They threaten each other. Then Buffy runs up to the mansion to save Angel from killing himself. She finds him atop Kingman's Bluff, the sun only minutes away from rising. He tells her that he loves her and he wants her so much that he'd be willing to lose his soul just to be with her. Buffy insists for him to come inside, but he believes that he is evil and he has to die. They fight, hate one another, and then, with tears in their eyes, say how much they love each other. Buffy gives him his last chance to prove how strong he really can be and to come in from the sun. She tells him that if he really doesn't have a place on Earth, he can burn. Suddenly, snow begins to fall. The once sunny, warm Sunnydale is now dark with a Christmas Day snowfall. Willow, Oz, Giles, Faith, and Joyce all watch the snow from outside their windows. Buffy and Angel walk hand in hand together through the snow, protected from the sunlight. Oh, that's so sweet. And now let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. Cordelia and Xander's relationship remains irreconcilable after the events from Lover's Walk, while Oz and Willow get back together. They stay together until they break up for good and wild at heart. Cordelia mentions Xander's family's drunken Christmas fights. There's another hint to the series of Xander's unhappy home life, first mentioned in Inca Mummy Girl, which eventually culminates in the events from Hell's Bells. Buffy tells Joyce that she and Faith aren't really talking since the events of Revelations, when they fought each other and Faith rejected Buffy's attempt at friendship. Joyce quickly shoots down Buffy's suggestion that Giles join them for dinner, as she's still feeling awkward following their involvement in band candy. Angel is invited back into Giles' house. He will take advantage of this invitation only once more in the episode Pangs. Giles says that Buffy may have to kill Angel again, having first killed him in Becoming Part 2. The first prediction, sooner or later you will drink her, ends up being accurate, since Angel drinks Buffy's blood in Graduation Day Part 2. Also asks Willow if she's ever had the dream. Well, you're in a play, and it's the middle of the play, and you really don't know your lines, and you kind of don't know the plot. Willow has a similar dream, or the nightmare, as seen in the episode Nightmares, though it's an opera that she's in. It became reality for her in the episode The Puppet Show. Willow would have this nightmare again during the episode Restless. Oz refusing to sleep with Willow in this episode recalls his declining her offer to make out in Innocence. This is the second time Willow has offered her virginity to a boy and been turned down. The first was under magical influence and bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. After Angel jumps out of Buffy's bedroom window and Buffy prepares to search for him, Faith tells her to watch her back, just as Kensler did before Buffy went to face Angel in Becoming Part 1. The era where Angel attempts suicide is the same era where Willow will attempt to destroy the world in Grave, at which time its name was revealed as Kingman's Bluff. Due to the snowfall, this is the first time Angel walks around in the daytime as a vampire, followed by the eclipse of Graduation Day Part 2, and her the use of the Gem of Amara in the dark. Buffy and Angel officially renew their relationship until Angel breaks up with her in the prom. Despite being in Aspen during the events of this episode, Cordelia acknowledges the free Christmas snowfall and the price. The first evil harbingers of death do not appear again until Lessons, when it returns as the big bad of Season 7. This first encounter allows Buffy to recognize them in the episode Never Leave Me. And now let's take a look at some production notes from this episode. This episode's story follows the premise of the well-known Charles Dickens novella A Christmas Carol, in which an elderly miser is visited by a ghost and the three Christmas spirits turn the error of his ways. This format will also be parodied in the tale The Ghosts of Slayers Past. The weatherman, Mark Kriske, is the real weatherman for KTLA's Morning News, an affiliate of the WB in Los Angeles. Joss Whedon explains the harbinger's death, quote, "The guys with weird flesh over their eyes represent some sort of creepy kind of Jacob's laddery thing. A deformed human is scarier than a big reptile with fangs." On the official Buffy the Vampire Slayer posting board, Whedon declared that the snowfall may have been the work of the powers that be. Quote, "The snow in Amends was good. Was it God? Well, I'm an atheist, but it's hard to ignore the idea of a Christmas miracle here. The fact is, the Christian mythos has a powerful fascination to me, and it bleeds into my storytelling. Redemption, hope, purpose, Santa, these are all important to me. Whether I believe in afterlife or some sort of universal structure or not, I clearly don't mind a strictly Christian interpretation be placed on this episode by those who believe that. I just hope it's not limited to that. This episode is the final appearance of Robert LaMorte, who plays the first evil in the form of Jenny. The mutant enemy monster in the end credits wears a Santa hat while bells are heard. And now let's take a look at some pop culture references. Buffy mentions roast beast, a reference to the 1957 story How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss, in which roast beast is a traditional Christmas dinner. Buffy compares a prophetic textbook with The Sun, a supermarket tabloid rarely regarded as sensationalist. Joseph's script of The Harbingers includes the words, "They're rebels, and they'll never be any. They're rebels, and they'll never, ever be any good." Mocking the book's dramatic description by paraphrasing the Crystal song, "He's a Rebel." Maple Courthouse newspaper headline vending machines of USA Today. The sign outside the Sun Cinema announces film Abilene, to which Carrie Meyer was also production designer. And now finally, let's take a look at some goofs. Angel's Dream that Buffy finds herself in. The background music is Pachelbel's Canon in D, a famous Baroque era piece. If the time period can be assumed the same as the man that he kills, then Pachelbel's Canon would not have been circulating during this time, as apparently the music was lost until the 20th century. The first evil is not supposed to be able to touch anything, but it clearly touches Angel at his mansion. Interesting. So overall, I think this episode is pretty good, and I'm glad that things turned out well between Oz, Willow, Buffy, and Angel, but not so much with Xander and Cordelia, unfortunately, so yeah. So overall, I give Amends 4 vampire steaks out of 5. Well, anyway, tune in bed as we take a look at the next episode, Gingerbread. So, until then, here endeth the lesson.